Hello, and welcome to the Online Educators Forum. I'm your host, Lindsay Andreolli-Comstock, and today we are launching a new three-part mini-series called Demystifying the Digital Landscape. So here's the thing. Online learning is one of the fastest changing fields out there, and the technology is only part of that equation. As online learning evolves, so do our ways of engaging with it, which means our hosting, our teaching styles, our learning module designs, and even our assessments change in real time as well. So while you might think these are basic questions we are asking and answering in this mini-series, in reality, we are keeping you up to speed on where things stand now and what that might mean in your context today. So, a great example is a question we are almost never asked, but I can tell a lot of people don't fully understand what it means. And that is, what is educational design? While many people are familiar with instructional design, which often focuses on creating specific lessons or slide decks for an online course, educational design is a much broader, more comprehensive professional discipline. It is the architectural design, development, execution, and assessment of an educational program or a single learning experience. Educational design is the intentional process of aligning who the learners are and what they need to learn with the mission of the school or organization to determine how that learning will actually happen. At its core, it isn't just about moving content from a book to a screen. It's a science-based approach that combines several distinct areas of expertise. The first is expertise in the learning sciences and adult learning theory. This is the study of how the human brain processes, stores, and retrieves information. For adult learners, such as those in theological or professional education, this means designing experiences that respect their prior knowledge and focus on immediate practical application. The second is contextual expertise. Educational design requires a deep understanding of the specific environment. Designing a Master of Divinity program, for example, is fundamentally different from designing a government training for low-income housing advocates. True design starts with knowing the culture, the tradition, and the unique challenges of the institution at play. The third is software integration expertise. It involves selecting the right digital tools that support the learning goal. The technology shouldn't just be there. It must be woven into the curriculum so that it facilitates rather than hinders the student's progress. To understand how this is done, we look at three specific alignments within educational design. This is where the magic or the mess happens. The first is the human alignment. This is the who and the need of educational design. Design fails when we treat learners as data points or simple demographics. In digital spaces, the who is a moving target. It's about contextual empathy and identifying readiness. A bivocational pastor at a seminary requires a fundamentally different how than a 19-year-old undergrad, even if the what, which in this case could be the subject of theology, even if that what is identical. If your mission is to train busy professionals, for example, but your how requires 3 hours of synchronous Zoom calls on a Tuesday morning, your design is in conflict with your learner. Design is the intentional act of respecting the learner's actual environment and constraints by designing in ways that respond to their needs. The second is the purpose alignment. This is the why and the mission. This is where many educational designers lose the plot. The how must be a theological or philosophical extension of the why. The design of any learning experience must be a mirror of the institution's or organization's values. If a school's mission is ecumenical formation, or a company's goal is collaborative leadership, but the program design is a series of isolated, automated, multiple-choice quizzes, the design has betrayed the mission. Educational design acts as the guardian of institutional integrity, ensuring the online medium actually matches the message. And the last is the functional alignment. This is the how and the intentional process. This is the brave part of the work, in my opinion. The act of choosing a specific pedagogical path because it is the only way to satisfy both the learner's need and the institution or organization's unique mission. This is where we stop trying to maintain outdated structures. It is the moment you decide that a traditional online course might actually be the wrong container for the goals that you've laid out. Whether it is a synchronous cohort, a decentralized chat feed, or a digital learning lab, the how is an intentional choice to let the old shell break so the mission can finally reach the learner. When planning a new degree program, revising a certificate program, or designing a workshop or training, you might be tempted to simply digitize your existing content. Just put it all online, as I sometimes hear people say. However, intentionally partnering with an educational designer provides several critical advantages that help you avoid common mistakes when moving online. The first is moving from content to experience. Most experts focus on what they want to say, the content. An educational designer, however, focuses on what the learner will be able to do, the outcome. We work backward from the goal to ensure every reading, every video, and every assignment is directly tied to a specific skill or competency. The second is ensuring scalability and consistency. If you are launching a new program, you want the quality to be the same whether 5 learners or 50 learners are enrolled. Educational design creates a repeatable framework. This ensures that the learner experience is high quality and consistent, regardless of which staff or faculty member you choose to teach a given lesson. The third is reducing cognitive overload. Using the learning sciences, educational designers structure information so it doesn't overwhelm the learner. By organizing content logically and using the right software for the right task, we remove the technical noise so learners can focus entirely on the subject matter at hand. And lastly is protecting your investment. Designing a new program or revising an existing one is a major investment of time and money. An educational designer acts as a strategist, ensuring that the final product is not only educationally sound, but also sustainable for the staff to manage and easy for the learners to navigate. In short, educational design is the bridge between information and transformation. It ensures that your learners don't just complete a course, but are truly transformed by the material, applying it in their own lives in real time. If you're planning your next educational venture, remember that the design of the experience is just as important as the content itself. Technology, while an important container, should not direct your development, but rather support your predetermined learning outcomes. If you found this episode helpful, you can help support us by clicking the thumbs up below and subscribing to our channel. That's all for us today. Stay tuned for episode 2 of our mini-series, What is EdTech? Coming soon.